into a character's world. With a warm round of applause, let's welcome on stage a talk show host, TV presenter, and producer with over 20 years of experience in the media, our moderator for this session, Ms. Nithya Verma. And now, a prolific actor noted for her strong portrayals, a recipient of multiple accolades, including a National Award and 4 Filmfare Awards South, Ms. Nithya Menen. May I now request Shri Pankaj Saxena, Artistic Director, 55th IFFI, to please come and felicitate our celebrated speaker and the moderator. Thank you, sir, for joining us with the felicitation. And now over to Ms. Nithya Verma with a gracious request to commence the conversation.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm Dhanya. I'm a talk show host based out of Kochi, Kerala. And I'm really delighted to be here with my favorite ever actor, Nithya. I can't tell you how much I love her. And when I heard that I have to talk to Nithya, which I've been wanting to for ages, I just jumped at it. So happy to be here, so excited, and you can see the energy. So thank you, Nithya, and it is lovely to be here. We get the conversation going right away. We are talking about the power of nuance, right? And she is called, you know what? I have been seeing the comment sections in the interviews that she has given. She's called the queen of subtlety. Isn't that interesting? From the time I've seen her first of all, congratulations. National Awards, Best Actor Female, truly, 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 truly well deserved.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So for all of you who know Nithya and for all of you who don't, just a brief glimpse into how magnificent she is. Okay? She's worked in all four South Indian languages, Kannada, Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, and she's acted in Hindi as well. She can speak 6 languages effortlessly, and all her movies in Malayalam, she has done phenomenally so well that we Mallus love her. Okay, so Nithya, first let me talk about the national awards. Tiruchitrambalam, when I saw the movie, you know, this is very interesting, and it was also intriguing, because Nithya, it's a gut instinct, right? Like when you hear the script of a movie, and you want to choose that movie, say yes or no, normally, as an actor of your repertoire and depth, you'd probably be inclined towards something that would be dramatic, or, you know, there'll be something more to play with. Here was a girl, just the girl next door, a very simple love story, so beautifully told. When you heard the script, what was your first thought? Do I have enough to perform in this?
I didn't hear the script. Actually.
You didn't hear the script at all. How did you decide on the movie? That's an interesting choice.
Yeah. Basically what happened is Dhanush called me, and he was quite upset that he was not able to reach me because I'm very private. So he said, what is this? How is it that we can reach you if you are like so this thing and all that? So I said, he said, I've been trying so hard for so many years to try and reach you about a film, and it's like so difficult and all that. And I said, okay, you've got me now, like tell me what it's about. So he just told me in, I think what was 15 minutes or so, he told me what the film is about. It's a film like this, it's like, you know, the father and the grandfather, very important characters, grandfather. And then, you know, she's a friend, and so very basic idea of what the film was. I didn't know that Shobna was going to be such a vital character. I thought that it is a story of 3 the father, son, and the grandfather. And she's a friend. That's what I thought. So I did not accept the film or something exactly as you said. I didn't accept it because I thought like I'll have something very important to do. But I saw the excitement and the passion with which he said it. He loved that film. He loved it. And he said, if I get these actors, I have in my mind, when we were writing, I had this in my mind. If I get those 4 actors, it'll be exactly as I thought. And that passion, I said, yes, done. So I think where my choices are coming from is that I'm always thinking, what can I give to a film, or what can I contribute? How am I able to contribute, rather than what am I going to gain from this? So even when I'm always criticized for doing very light films or not doing films which are very, like whatever, serious or something, it's because I'm never thinking, or never once in my mind has it come until these conversations happen, that what will I get from it? If I do this film, then I will look like an amazing actor. It never once crossed my mind. So the thought is always, what am I able to contribute to the vision of what this person in front of me is saying? So then that person needs to say it with that much passion that I feel, yes, I have the same amount of passion, and I can give him what he wants.
So now you know what you need to do to get Nithya to sign a movie for you. You approach with a script and put all the passion in it to convince her. Nithya, when you talk about Shobna, and I'm taking Shobna in particular because on the face of it, it's not a very difficult character to portray. But we realize the nuances that you have put in the flashback sequence. When they go back and show those minute micro expressions, when Dhanush approaches her with all kinds of stories and tries to make her his agony aunt, that's when we actually realize, oh my God, these things were in place, and it is so subtly portrayed. What are the tools you employ in such characters which are probably not makeup heavy or costume heavy or, dramatized?
Especially when it comes to this, I do want to talk about it because, like, when you say on the onset it's not a difficult thing to do, that's actually not true, because how easy or how difficult something is to do is, I think, a way in you. If you think about, would someone else have been able to do exactly the same? If it's a no, then there is something else there, and there is a performance there, even if to your eye it looks easy or it's simple. It's not. Because if you see me now, I am not Shobana at all. So playing Shobana is a challenge. It is not simple, because everything she does, every physical way she moves, the way she laughs, is not me. I laugh openly like that, Shobana laughs like this. Yeah. So every single thing is a performance. So is it something that can easily be replaced? Like, can you just say, yeah, anyone could have done it? That is nuance. If you feel like there are certain elements that cannot be replicated, that to me is nuance. And so it's not a simple performance, actually.
I particularly remember the scene when Dhanush was proposing to you on the terrace, and those flicker of emotions, fleeting emotions going, past your face with the sunlit, face of yours on the terrace. That was unbelievably, it was magical, actually, Nithya.
It happened within 5 minutes because the sun was setting, and the sun was setting, and it was like, quick, and you know how it is on a film set, right? Like this, lights are moving, everything is moving. They're like, go, let's go, put it on. And within a second, we have one shot. I still watch that when I watch the film, I see that scene, and I notice that the focus went off in between. There's a point, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I can see it immediately that the focus went off, and I love that they have kept the shot. Because there was only one shot. We couldn't do a second one because there was no time, sun went off.
So it's truly unbelievable. Again, Nithya, I'm coming to that point, which is a process of acting. You people always ask actors, and sometimes magic just happens. But Nithya, I've heard a lot of actors tell me that they employ methods, different methods, and sometimes a concoction of methods to get into a character. I've heard some very established actors talk about perfume, the power of perfume to get into a character, or sometimes try to get the gait right to kind of sink in, And what was there for Shobna for you when did you feel, like maybe 2 or 3 days down, or maybe around the time the shoot started, that, yes, I'm Shobna now?
I'm not method at all, so I don't know the process. I've never learned acting or read about acting or studied acting. It came spontaneously to me initially, so I stuck to that because it seems to be working. So I just decided to not think too much about acting and deliberate it too much. So unless you're maybe doing a biopic, or you need to really study a person or something like that, I try not to overthink it. I just show up. So I just go there. That's it. What the work that happens is only in my head. So when I hear the narration, then it keeps staying in my head. I keep remembering some scenes. I keep remembering, so I can visualize everything like a film. So I see the whole thing. I can see it in my head. So it works in my head, actually. It's more about observing characters, people, those kind of things, rather than doing something I'll do this and physically get into that character. That is not the case. With Shobna, it happened in the first scene itself. The first scene was a scene with Bade Raja sir, where he's put that face pack on his face and all that. That was the first scene. So we did 2 shots, and then Dhanush came up to me and said, look, this is Nithya, this is not Shobana, You see that thing that she is, this is what she would like. And that's it. I immediately, the next shot, we did it, and we're okay, we got it. This is Shobana.
When we're talking about Nithya now, yes, she has been in the industry for so long. The journey started in 2006 with a Kannada movie, yeah. And in Malayalam, she started in 2008, Akasha Gopuram. But the first time I saw her was for this anthology movie, Kerala Cafe. I don't know how many of you would have seen it. And the section of hers was Happy Journey, which was directed by Nithya Menen. And she was with this unbelievable powerhouse of a talent that is Jagadish Srikumar sir. And I remember seeing that sequence, and I'm still getting goose pimples. And I'm like, who is this girl? I was like, wow. And to hold her own against somebody like Jagadish sir. And there also, even she just started out, okay? It was not much into the industry. There also you could see those nuanced expressions, very subtle acting, and it was a beautiful short film, and I loved her in it. And ever since I've been just following her work, then of course multi-languages, so many other movies. Outside Kerala, it's a little difficult to follow, but I still have seen, a lot of Tamil movies of yours. In those days, as an actor, the way you approached the character, and today, when you look at the characters, is there a difference in the way you approach or treat it internally?
Internally, no, but I think there is a little bit of a difference in the sense at that time, I used to be very unconscious, completely not conscious. what we are saying today, my first film was with Mohanlal sir. But I was not at all conscious that he's there, or because I never thought I would be in this like film, so I didn't care. I'm just going to do one film and go off. So it didn't matter. So I was very unconscious about anything. They're saying, okay, do this. I was doing it. It was just happening very spontaneously. So I missed that. I wish I was that unconscious, but it's not possible after 15 years, to be like that. So now it's a little more conscious. I know, what I'm getting into and all that. But internally, it's the same process. It's just like an extension of who I am. That's what the acting has always been. If I am able to feel something inside and I'm able to process an emotion a certain way, you'll see that on screen. So it's just an extension of me. It's not something I'm doing.
But the mannerisms have to be different, no? Like from one character to another.
Yeah, but
that's the tricky part. How do you do that when you're
that's
internalized?
the acting part. But in a large sense, it is very much an extension of my soul. And so that's subtlety and nuance, to be able to understand certain things, certain situations. Like we play a mother, for example, right? I've never been a mother, but where does that come from? That comes from a EQ, which is not from personal experience, or it's not method, right? So I always, personally, I've always felt that acting always has to come from the human being that you are. And you are as good an actor, as perceptive as you are as a human being.
And how about the psychology of the characters? Because, when you have to portray a certain character in a certain way, like you said, she laughs with her face closed. That means she's somebody who's used to repressing herself in a certain way. I'm just guessing. I don't know if I'm right. She represses how she feels. She doesn't portray her true self most of the time. Do you get into those aspects of psychology
it's
to understand the character and get the nuances out?
Yeah, no, I never ever ask questions to directors, like what would she do, how would she keep her hand, how would she walk and all that, which I always get that feedback from directors. Nithya never asks a question. She never says, would this character do this? Because that's again intellectualizing it. What would she do? It's not actually do, it's a more of an understanding of this world that we are talking about. When you're talking about Shobna, it's not really repression, but it's that world. It's that place where they are from. How would they, be? So just understanding that, and the rest is natural. Whatever you're seeing me doing it just happened. It's from an understanding of the world.
Taking to the other side, like you have grown as an actor, what are the things that hinders the process of growing as an actor?
That's a very good question, which, by the way, I'm finding an answer to now. Rigidity. If you ever feel like I can't work when something is like this, or this person is like this, or this my vibe and this person's vibe is not the same, or something like that, then it doesn't work for you. As an actor, you have to be so fluid, and you have to be so accepting of different kinds of methods of working, different kinds of people. The minute you do that, trust me, the job becomes so easy. It becomes simple. And you connect more to the people that you're working with, and you're able to enjoy your process. So initially you may feel like, I've worked with a lot of people that people have said, oh my God, can't even imagine the two of you like even working together. But I have got along brilliantly with those people. So that's because of an open-mindedness. They may be very different, but you're still accepting of that, then you can just go beautifully with that process. And the second thing I think is confidence. I've seen a lot of actors really struggling when I watch, I know that they can do it. But it's because they're scared or they're nervous or they're not confident about themselves that they start faltering. I think that was also what worked for me from the beginning. It didn't matter that much for me to be nervous. I always thought this is my last film. After this, I'm going to go do something else. So I didn't have a reason to be nervous or scared. So I was always very confident. And I was like, yeah, what should I do? And I did it, which is why it worked so well, I think, sometimes when I was so young. So I think if you just confidently just do it, that really works.
So I heard a lot of actors talk about give and take with the opposite, the actor with you, whoever is performing the scene, the transaction, the support. I know a lot of things that happen behind the scenes as well. I mean, though on camera a lot of things are spoken, but behind the scenes might be a completely different scenario, Nithya. So when you are in a situation where you are not with an actor who augments or supports or encourages your performance or takes it to the elevated state, how do you deal with that? Because I personally feel that acting is it's a transaction of energy of sorts. You know, there is something which is happening between the two people. But if you don't get that, what do you do?
It's very unfortunate to say this, but that what you're saying, that someone takes it to an elevated level, never happened. Never happened with me. It has happened once or twice when I felt it, and you should see how we celebrated it. Oh my God, this is how we're supposed to feel and all that. But it doesn't actually happen like that. Because I find that, I don't know, again, talking about nuance, that nuance comes when there's a certain energy, around the set. What are we making? I find that a lot of times we are more fixated on just getting the job done that day. Nobody understands the need for silence for an actor. So there's just chaos around you just before the take. And action! So you're like, you're not even ready to sort of really take it in. So that process, that very internal sort of emotional exchange process, I would say it doesn't happen. If it happens, it's very rare. I felt it a little bit when I was working in Breathe, because they gave me that space. They gave me silence. Like the director, I really liked Mayank like that, because he understood that subtlety and that sort of intensity that I had to portray. So that set would actually be silent and cleared and empty. So I have cried on Breathe without any, just on the thing. I didn't know I could do it because I never had the environment to be able to do it. But yeah, so.
Another very important point here to be raised is because she has worked in so many languages. And I think when she started out in Telugu, she didn't really understand the language. You had to learn the language in order to, with the consecutive movies, you learned the language. So when you're working in multiple movies, and I hear a lot of filmmakers down south, especially in Malayalam, let me take the permission to speak in Malayalam, they say, "I meter mele pidikano, tada pidikano, evada pidikanam meter." Do you relate to it? Yeah. I meter evada pidikanam narilla. That means, you have to get that pitch right, of the tone of the movie right. So a lot of actors say that, I had to ask the director, where do you want the meter evada pidikanam? So when you work in Tamil, you work in Telugu, Kannada, and I'm sure the meters vary from 1 film industry to the other. Where do you pitch and place yourself emotionally or expressively or voice-wise, modulation-wise?
I think
Have you got
now-
that right? Have you
Yeah,
figured
yeah,
it out?
I never thought of it until now when you're saying it. I do that. I never ask again. I never ask someone else, "Evada pidikkanam meter." But I figure it out.
Huh.
Like I observe and I see what they want. I'm always trying to understand what the director wants. What is he wanting from me? What kind of a performance? So I kind of watch that and I figure out. So yes, there is this meter thing that you're talking about. Recently, I've had to kind of deal with a very different meter, starting with Tiruchitrambalam, where I thought it was little up, and but nothing like what I'm doing now, whether it's with Idli Kade or with the Panduraj film that I'm doing next with Vijay Sethupathi. Both the meters are little more up. Yeah, with Panduraj sir's film, the meter is quite up, as in.
So
It's a
doesn't
comedy.
subtlety go for a toss
No,
there?
yes, absolutely. It's not subtle at all. So, but it's a comedy. And it's a different kind of a film. And see, we need to understand that comedy can also be different types. It can be all the way from slapstick to very subtle, like British humor.
Caustic.
But this comedy is, the meters up. So it's not it's a beautiful, I like it. For an actor, it's an interesting space. It's a nice, different kind of a performance that I've done. But I've realized that that meter's a little bit high. So I go through an internal like process to adjust myself to that meter, because I personally gravitate towards subtlety and doing things as less as possible. But when you have to do this and you know that that's the meter of the film, then I go through a process. Okay, I have to, open myself up to sort of just go for it and like embrace this meter.
Generalizing between all languages, but do you see the meter difference between all languages there, like Malzam?
No, I don't think between languages.
There's no difference. From film to film
I
is
think
what
I
you see.
just, yeah.
And Nithya, I mean, we are running short of time. We have to open to the audience. But before that, one more question, which I really think is important for all of those artists who are aspiring to be phenomenal actors, as Nithya is. Nithya, I feel that when you become an actor and when you become successful, there are a lot of people around you to kind of take you away in a different direction. How important for you has been this element that I have to be real, I have to be grounded, I have to be in touch with reality, and how important is it for it? Because in Instagram, she has put this line out and I thought it was very beautiful. She said, real things and people who take you closer to them. And I thought it was a beautiful line to say, real things and people who take you closer to them, with a picture of your friends and family, I believe. So what is that to you, staying grounded and being real?
It's actually the thing that I want. I don't want the entertainment business, or I don't want to wear makeup or be famous. I want those things. So that's what I think subliminally you kind of read, that this is real. Like, I'd rather spend a morning with these guys, walking around with no makeup and like enjoying life and feeling the sun and the trees and these kind of things. So it's that's me. So there's no way that I will gravitate towards anything which is fake. And right from, this is way before I started doing films as well. I was 15 when I tried to figure out what to do with my hair, because my hair was really big and curly and frizzy. So the simplest way to go about it was to just straighten your hair, which everyone, by the way, at that time was doing. And it was the trend, I think. But I couldn't even imagine doing it. I was like, how? How can I straighten? Like, how? I couldn't imagine. So it's very it's my nature to not be able to accept doing things which are like exhibitionist or fake, you know. So I tried to figure out how can I make my own stuff work for me like that. So I think that's in my nature. So I'll, you know, it's not difficult for me to stay true to me.
And the interesting part is that you are an actor. You're completely, you know, portraying a character that's different from you. Now it's time to open the conversation to the audience. Yes. May I have a mic, please? And I hope there's somebody to coordinate. There are a few people in the first 2-3 rows, so if you could pass on the mic and...
Yeah, very good afternoon, Nithya. You played a Divyang role in Kannada film Maina. Kannada film Maina, Divyang role. I mean, physically disabled person.
Sorry, I can't hear you well. Can you place the...
In Kannada film Maina, you play... can you hear me?
I can hear.
You played a physically challenged role in Kannada film Maina. So how was that preparations and what was the challenge? Because at that time when it was released, still the accessibility and inclusivity was very new to the society. Today, in this year edition, we have also accessibility and inclusion included in the film festival, which is very good sign. Because that film came almost a decade back. So can you share that thoughts on that playing Maina film role as a physically challenged? Thank you.
I was much younger then, and I did not prepare at all. I just, like I said, I just went on the set and it just used to just come to me like easily. I used to just, that physicality of that was not easy at all because I was playing a polio-stricken girl with the leg not working from waist below. But, you know, there was a scene towards the end where she sees him in the climax, and from the wheelchair, she has to just get down and go, just go. So they said, ನೀವು ವೀಲ್ಚೇರಿಂದ ನೀವು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ನೀವು ಹಾಗೆ ಜಂಪ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ನೀವು ಹಾಗೆ ಹೋಗಬೇಕು. Now, I don't know if I thought about it physically, but I thought about the emotion. She's seeing him after so many months, and a girl who doesn't have, like that, her emotion was so strong that she wants to run, but she can't run because of her leg. So I just did it. So what I did, that's what you'll see on screen. I just jumped off from the wheelchair and I started crawling. That's what she would have done. So there's no preparation actually. It happened on the spot without rehearsal also.
Yes, the third row and the third row to the left and the fourth row, 2 people. Anybody behind? Yeah, lots of people who want to ask you questions, Nithya.
Hi, I'm a big fan actually. I want to give
Can you be louder, please?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, better.
Hi, Nithya. Good afternoon. I'm a big fan of you. I want to give you a postcard which I wrote. Can you please take it? And I have a question about the nuance of character. Like, since the technology is rapidly developing, like AI and all, AI-generated characters are evolving. And do you really think that humans can make a difference in the generation of AI and technology overtaking the filmmaking industry?
Are you saying that the...
Let's try and stick to the topic because a lot of people do want to ask questions. I would like to answer regarding the topic. I don't know if we are really discussing AI here, so okay. I'd rather not, yeah.
Hi, Nithya.
Yeah.
Hi.
You can give it to him.
Hi, Nithya.
Hi, sorry, I can't see you. Yeah, tell me.
This is Prakyat from Gulte, a Tollywood news platform. Yeah, you have been part of a lot of commercial films as well in Telugu and multiple industries. Do you think these nuances have scope or space in commercial films?
You tell me.
According to you, do you have a scope or a space?
I have no other way to do it. I do it only one way.
Okay.
So
Any
you
example
tell me.
You like in Telugu films that...
Do you not see nuance in the commercial films I did?
I did, so I'm asking your favorite one.
There's, like I said, there's only one way that I know how to do it. So the point is there space for me in those films? And they make space for me sometimes in those films. And they want it, you know, they want a certain nuance sometimes with certain characters to sort of support. So, yeah.
Okay, some women representation, please. Yeah, yeah. There's a lady here and there's a lady there.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
So, ma'am, what motivates you to choose the characters that transcend the language barrier? Because I'm a Bengali, but when I watch your movies, I never felt like you are portraying a Malayali or a Tamilian. It's always been like, this is a girl I relate to so painfully, it's relatable. So, how do you do that?
Maybe relatability comes from, you know, like heart and, you know, that kind of an energy. So you're relating maybe because I'm a very hard person. I'm not intellectualizing, trying to be,
It shows.
yeah. So that energy, anyone can relate to it. So I think it's that. I don't know if it's the choice of films or something. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes?
Yes, sir. The gentleman there.
Ma'am. Good afternoon. I wanted to know if any character that you have played as an actor, a nuanced character, which has stayed with you long after the film was over and it became a part of your personality or your being for a long time.
When I finish a shot, like when they say cut, I can't wait to get the hell out of there and like become myself again. And I'm like, oh my God, this is done. So no, I will never carry anything back with me. I'll think about scenes. Like I'll sometimes think, I could have done that like this. Why didn't I do it like this? Like I could have done it so much more easy. I could have owned it so much more. I could have done so much better. That thought I go through when I go back sometimes, but I have never carried my work. I can't wait to drop it and go back and sleep.
Nithya, I've heard actors, just taking that thought forward, I have heard actors say that, you know, they delve into their personal experience to get that emotion out. Has that happened to you initially, at least in your career, or do you do that often?
It has to, because, you know, if you want to come out with, like, if you want to, like, show some strong emotion, like you're crying and all that, inside you should have maybe some sort of sadness which is waiting to come out. So this is just an outlet. So 100% it has to be like natural and it has to come from inside. Like nowadays I find crying a little hard because I don't have that much sadness inside. I've become a happier person. So nowadays when I'm crying, when I have to cry on screen, I feel like I'm putting an effort. Earlier in my career, I used to find it cathartic. Like once that scene is over, I used to feel like, that feels nice. So yeah. Just give it to him, please. Yeah.
मैं हिंदी में आपको पूछूंगा.
No, बोलिए.
जिसके साथ आपने काम किया है, उनके साथ एक्सपीरियंस आपका क्या हुआ? संक्षिप्त में बताइए.
किसके साथ?
मोहनलाल और धनुष्य के साथ.
कौन?
मोहनलाल और धनुष्य हीरो के साथ.
मोहनलाल और?
धनुष्य हीरो.
Dhanush.
Dhanush.
हाँ.
Okay. उनके साथ experience. I was hoping to not answer hero-related experience questions here. Let's come to that to the end. Let's stick to the topic and then we'll come to that. Yeah.
Hello. Hello. May I?
Yeah, please.
So, ma'am, when we talk about comedy, it's always we talk about it is very, we have to perform it loud and over the top. But according to you, what is the importance of nuances in comedy?
I don't know if I'm the best person to speak about it because I've not done so much comedy in my life. And honestly, I never thought I could. But people like Dhanush who believe in, I think he sees exactly the kind of performer that I am, and he says, you can do this, and he kind of pushes that thing for me. So in Idli Kade, there's a bit of comedy that is going on through my character. I personally never thought I could do it, so I don't know, but he says I can do it, so I just go with it. Nuance, in the sense, maybe Alla Modalendi and all that. That's my first Telugu film I did. That was a rom-com, and there was comedy. People were laughing a lot because also of the writing. The comedy was in the writing, but that was, I think, a very subtle thing. I was just being ourselves, but still in a slightly comical way. So I think Alla Modalendi is probably the most nuanced comedy that I probably have done.
Thank you, ma'am.
And we have time for just one last question. Oh my God, one question. Yeah, okay, you got the mic.
Hello. Yeah. Hi, Nithya. I'm Abhirupa. I'm a filmmaker and a film journalist. My emphasis is on the female gaze. I am not going to ask a hero-oriented question. What I'm going to ask is, as women, the older we get, the more conditioning and systemic rules start playing a bigger role, if you allow it to, like if you give in to it. Now, combined with that, you're an artist. I can see from whatever you've said until now that you've been able to hold your own with this just general acceptance that this is how you do it. But I would like your perspective on, is it getting easier because you started 15 years back to have that kind of confidence that this is how I'm going to operate and my nuance is going to come out like this? Because again, it's coming from a place of confidence, which majoritarian might not have. I'm applying this from the filmmaker's gaze also because I wouldn't say that we budge, but how do you continue to exercise that flexibility or develop on it as you get older? And how is it not getting harder for you?
I don't know if it's just maybe what my upbringing was. I don't know what it is, but I have never ever thought about gender. It never crossed my mind. Whenever I saw certain things happening, I always saw it as human beings. I said, this person is a horrible person. Why treat another human being like that? So it was always very human being in my head. It's only recently I saw, oh, is that sexism? Okay. Like gender is not, there are a lot of these boxes that don't even exist in my head. Religion, gender, language. Language box doesn't exist. I can pick up any language, and I speak many languages, so it doesn't exist in my head. So when people ask me language-related questions, then I have to think, language, okay. So I guess it helps that I didn't focus on that, and I just so I was the same person, what you're seeing today, I was the same person when I was starting and doing my first film. Same person. Nothing changed. I was equally confident, actually. My confidence didn't increase after 15 years. It's the same. So it's who I was. It's the only way I knew how to be. Initially, there was resistance. Now there is no resistance to it. That's all is the difference. So initially there's resistance because that's another thing. I would really love if people realize that you can't wait for a person to get old to give them respect or give them recognition. A person it could be their first film, but they could be very, very brilliant at what they're doing. Give them that same respect or that space. You have just started, how can you talk like this? No, it's just as an artist that we are doing certain things, not anything else. So that I wish that would have happened without sort of giving so much resistance to people when they're starting off. But yeah, that resistance has stopped now, that's all. Things have changed for sure, there's no doubt about it. It's a much easier world today for us. Much easier. You can't get away anymore with ill-treating a girl. You can't get away with it. Before you could. It was okay, Today you can't. You'll get you'll get whiplashed from it. So yeah, it's
Thank God for
yeah,
that.
yeah. It's gotten much better. It's a great time to be here today, and for people who are starting today, for actresses today, I always feel that it's smoother ride for them, for sure.
So thank you, Nithya, and thank you, everyone. And
I feel kind of bad. You guys really wanted to ask a question, right, in the back? Yeah, just go for it. Just quick. Yeah.
Hi, Gigi. How do you maintain your emotional consistency when it is a non-linear, shooting things and all?
How do I maintain emotional consistency? Okay. What did you want to ask? Same thing? Okay. How do I maintain emotional consistency? The thing is, we are, end of the day, it is a very human endeavor. So we may not always be in perfect form all the time. It is the job as an actor to maintain that emotional consistency, to sort of, even if you're going through something, to have to come there and to kind of be able to emotionally perform that space. That is the tough part of this job. Every job has its difficulties, but it is a tough thing to do, but that's the job, that you have to kind of commit and focus. This is the character, this is the movie, this is the role, this is what they need from me today. Sometimes it's just that, it's the job. I'm here today and I have to do this job today. I better do it well. So it's not always a very creative process.
So thank you so much, everyone. I'm just quoting Nithya quickly. She said, the purpose of the movie is lost if it doesn't stir the consciousness of the audience. And you have stirred our consciousness in so many ways. And how. Thank you so much, Nithya, for giving all that you have to Indian cinema and to all of us as viewers. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you all for coming.
With this, our session comes to an end. We would like to thank our esteemed guests. We would also like to thank you, audience, for being with us. We hope you had a great time, and we definitely want to see you for the next one. Thank you, and have a great day.